Colorado gained thousands of new residents this year, but at the exact same time, thousands of people packed up and left. So, what's happening here? Is Colorado truly one of the best places to live in America, or is the dream starting to fade? As a Colorado realtor that specializes in relocation, I talk to people every single week that are looking to move to Colorado, and I talk to people every single month that are looking to move out of the state. So, with that being said, I'm here to share why people are moving to Colorado in 2026, why they're fleeing Colorado in 2026, and if it's still worth it for you to move here. Before we dive into the video, again, I am a Colorado realtor. So if you're thinking about moving here, if you have questions, definitely reach out, and I'd love to chat further about what your situation is and how to get you here to Colorado. Okay, to start the video, before we start talking about why people are moving here and why people are leaving, let's talk about the numbers and what's actually happening in Colorado right now. Because depending on who you ask, Colorado is either booming or everyone is fleeing the state. And the reality is truly somewhere in the middle. Okay, so when we're talking about Colorado's population, just a quick peek at what's going on. In 2020, we saw 5.77 million people living in the state. In 2025, we're seeing 6.01 million people living here. That's an increase of 239,000 residents since 2020, making Colorado officially surpass the 6 million resident mark in 2020. Colorado's still growing. It's going to continue growing. And in fact, the state added about 24,000 residents between 2024 and 2025 alone, bringing that population to that 6 million people point. But here's where things get interesting. Right now, there are more people that are leaving Colorado than moving here. And in 2024 to 2025, the net domestic migration was that 12,100 more people moved out of Colorado than moved in from other states. And that's for the first time in over 20 years, Colorado is experiencing a negative domestic migration. And that means that when you're only looking at people moving between states, more people left Colorado than moved here. The top states that are sending people to Colorado is Texas, California, Florida, and Arizona. And even though we're losing population, Colorado continues to attract quite a bit of people from these areas, Texas, California, Florida, and Arizona. And when we're talking about the top states that residents are moving to out of Colorado from, we're looking at Texas, California, Arizona, and Florida. So interestingly enough, many Coloradans are moving to some of those exact states that a lot of people are moving from. So we're seeing a swap happening. People are still arriving, people are still leaving. The question is not whether Colorado's growing or shrinking. The real question is, why is there an exchange of population happening amongst these same states? Colorado just simply is not experiencing a population boom anymore. It is experiencing a population exchange. People are moving here for opportunity and lifestyle, and people are moving away from here for affordability and a different pace of life. Okay, so now that we've gone over the numbers and what we're looking at, we're going to hop into why people are still deciding to move to Colorado in 2026. And the number one reason is going to be outdoor recreation and outdoor lifestyle. Colorado is gorgeous, and depending on where you're at, you don't want to necessarily be on the east side of Colorado if you're looking to come for the nature, but if you're towards the western side of the state or the middle side of the state where you can see incredible views of those Rocky Mountains, you're going to just be in heaven because the mountains are gorgeous, the hikes are gorgeous. There's so many people that participate in the outdoor recreation here. There's hiking, biking, fishing. In the winter, there's snowmobiling and ice fishing and snowboarding and skiing. And there's just so many things to do. And the mountains are gorgeous. It's a beautiful area to enjoy the recreation. And there's so much sunny weather in the summer. We truly have 4 true seasons every single year. This past winter of 2025 to 2026, we did see a lot less snow, but in a typical year, we're seeing a beautiful spring, a beautiful summer, beautiful leaves in the fall, and then a gorgeous winter where people are able to do those outdoor winter recreation. And so if you're somebody that loves the outdoors, if you're somebody that loves nature, if you love sunshine, then Colorado is likely going to be a perfect place for you to call home, because it's one of the main reasons what why we came to Colorado, and it's one of the main reasons why we're staying. I just love being able to put in a very hard day's worth of work and being able to drive 15 to 20 minutes and being in the mountains, in the forest, being able to walk and decompress and really enjoy all of the reasons why we moved here. And so if you're somebody that loves to be outside, to outdoor recreate, and just loves beautiful views of the mountains, Colorado is going to be a great fit for you. People also move to Colorado because of the job market and also the remote working opportunities. So there's the cost of living is definitely higher in Colorado, and so you just want to keep this in mind, always in the back of your head when you're thinking about making a move here. But the job market is also a lot better than a lot of areas. You're seeing people that are paying a lot more. There's also a lot of different creative pays that I wasn't privy to in New Mexico. There's a lot of people that get quite a bit of per diem pay, quite a bit of commissions, just different type of payment structures that are really neat and really help them sustain and help them make quite a bit of money. And so the job market is very strong here. I will say that the job market is also very competitive, so you just want to keep that in mind as well. But if you're somebody that's looking to get paid more, if you're somebody that is looking for a job promotion, somewhere better to live and work, a better quality of life, then Colorado is going to be a great fit. And there's also quite a bit of people that are moving pretty deep into the Western Mountains that are remote workers and are getting positions in Colorado or a different state, but are living in their little slice of Colorado heaven, and it works out for them. So if you're somebody that wants a better job situation and you want to be paid more, then Colorado might be a great option for you. But I do recommend that you always get employment before you go ahead and make the move, because your savings burn through very quickly here. Colorado is also going to be a great place for you if you have growing kiddos. Colorado has great education, especially for me coming from New Mexico. It's insane to see how many extracurricular activities are provided by the schools here, and just how much organization and I guess their shit together that they have here compared to where I come from. And so if you've got growing kiddos, if they need to be in school, then a lot of people are actually moving to Colorado for specifically the Boulder Valley School District. And there's a lot of other school districts in Colorado that are going to be award-winning as well. So if you're looking for great education, Colorado is going to be great. If you're looking for a great place for you to raise your kids, Colorado has a lot of neighborhoods and a lot of different cities that are very family friendly and are great places for you to have growing little ones, because there's parks and playgrounds and recreation centers and trails and all kinds of things for you to do with your kiddos within your neighborhood. And then the cities themselves also offer movies in the park, music in the park, different festivals, tons of things to do. And so if you are looking to build community, if you're looking to get your kids into a great education system, if you're looking to get your kids into a great college eventually, Colorado is going to be a great fit. And that's one of the reasons why people are making a move specifically to Colorado in 2026. Healthcare is also another reason why people are moving to Colorado. I have a client that moved up here specifically to be closer to the children's hospital, and I have another client that is moving specifically to Colorado Springs to be close to the children's hospital. And so depending on where you're coming from, especially New Mexico and a lot of these states that are going to rank lower on the healthcare, the education, the population list, all of that, the income list, you are going to find a lot better healthcare here and a lot more support for whatever you're dealing with. So if you're somebody that needs specific care for you or your loved ones or your kiddos, Colorado just might be the perfect place for you to land, because it typically has everything that you need within a very short distance from where you're at. Access to the Denver airport is also going to be a big draw for people. There's a lot of people that travel a lot for business and they relocate here to different cities around the airport, such as Aurora, Commerce City, Parker, so that they can be very close to travel and it makes sense for them. So if you're somebody that does a lot of travel for work and you're relocating with your company already, then that's one of the reasons why you're still being drawn to Colorado in 2026. The last point I'm going to share on why people are moving to Colorado, and this is not all the reasons why people are moving to Colorado, but the last point that I want to share with you is the lifestyle upgrades and the quality of life increase. So moving from New Mexico, I can't tell you how many holidays we have in Colorado where I say to myself, are you serious? The bank is closed again? Are you serious? The stores are closed again. Everybody is not working again. And so there are so many different holidays that people get off of work so that they can enjoy Colorado. And again, with it being so close to all of this nature and the mountains and outdoor recreation, you have a good quality of life. And there's a lot of people that are active here. And I personally feel like I've become more active once we moved to Colorado, just because it's all the activities that I enjoy involve moving my body outside. And so that's been neat. And that's one of the things that a lot of my clients talk about is just the encouragement for them to get out and enjoy Colorado and nature and what is in front of them, because everybody around them is also doing the same. And if you move to Colorado, watch out, because you're going to find yourself trying to decide, do you want the kayak? Do you want the canoe? Do you want the binoculars? Do you want the fishing pole? Do you want the fly fishing rod? Like, what do you want? Because there's so many different toys and so many different things that you can go do and just have a blast out in the mountains. And so if you're looking for a better quality of life, if you're looking for a better life, if you are not happy in the state that you're in, if you're miserable, then you should really consider moving to Colorado, because a lot of people that move here from a state that does not have the scenery that we have, or does not have the opportunities that we have, or doesn't have the music scene that we have, or just the availability of things to do and communities to be in, a lot of them report that they are thrilled they move, they're thriving here, and they're not going to leave because it's everything that they wanted it to be. So those are some of the reasons why people are still moving to Colorado in 2026. And now let's hop into the reasons why people are fleeing this state in droves in 2026. The number one reason that people are leaving Colorado is going to be the cost of living. Colorado, in the past couple years, even since I've been here, the price of things have skyrocketed. And in the past decade to 15 years, they have absolutely skyrocketed. The homes used to be similar to New Mexico. You used to be able to get a really good single family home here for $200,000, $300,000. And now the only place that you can get a home like that is going to be Pueblo, Colorado, and potentially areas in like way off the beaten path in the mountains, or eastern Colorado, or potentially some places in Colorado Springs in those areas. But it used to be all over the state that you were able to find affordable housing. And now, especially after COVID, the cost of living has just absolutely skyrocketed, specifically with the cost of housing. And so it's crazy. When we moved from New Mexico, we were spending $750 a month for a 3-bedroom, two bath house with a huge yard and a pomegranate bush and pecan trees, and I had a little garden, and we had a pizza oven and a little place for like dancing and a garage, all kinds of stuff for $750 a month, and we were renting. And when we moved up to Colorado, we were renting in Longmont, and we were paying around $2,400 a month for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment on the 3rd floor with no yard, and the garage that was completely off to the side that didn't even have the best security at all. was an extra $100 a month. So we were spending somewhere around $2,500 a month on housing for a small space, a lot smaller space than what we were coming from. And so it's so important for you to understand that the cost of living is significantly higher in Colorado than the majority of the state. There's going to be a lot of states that are going to be a lower cost of living. And so if the numbers should matter to everybody. But if you are cutting it tight, if you are scrounging every single dollar for you to make this move and you're not coming with any savings, then I highly recommend that you stop for a second and you really consider whether or not this is going to be the best decision for your financial future and for the future of everybody that's coming with you. Because I think it's better for you to really sit with the thought of, is this going to work out? And if it's not, find a different state. Find a different state that's going to fit all of the boxes that you want, but is going to be less expensive. So just know the number one reason that people are moving out of Colorado in 2026, and the reason why they've been moving out of Colorado in the past couple years, is because the cost of living has gotten extremely high. Please make sure that you understand this before you move here. Another reason why people are leaving Colorado is going to be insurance costs. So we do have crazy weather here. And because of that, we see a lot of hail damage. We see a lot of wind damage. We see a lot of crazy things. There's tornadoes that happen in Colorado. I'm pretty sure there was an earthquake in Castle Rock a couple months ago. There's crazy things that happen. And I personally thought that moving so close to the mountains meant that you weren't in that, because my experience in New Mexico living in Ruidoso, there was not crazy weather like that. There was not crazy weather like that at all. And so being here, it's been such a wake-up call, because it costs you a lot of money to insure your vehicle because there's so many people that are making claims for hail damage. I'm one of those people. I drove into the outskirts of a tornado and completely totaled the vehicle after 6 months and didn't have gap insurance on it. And so lost a ton of money there. And I'm not the only person. When I was talking to people about this, there were so many people that were like, yep, I've heard that before. My sister, my brother, my cousin, my best friend, that happened to them too. So it's not something that is rare here. Make sure that you understand that insurance is a 100% necessity in Colorado, and it's also expensive. There's also a lot of people that are making claims on their homeowners insurance to get new roofs because of the hail damage and the wind damage that we have in certain areas. And so homeowners insurance has gone through the roof. There's even condos and townhomes that are no longer warrantable because the insurance costs are through the roof. And so we're having a lot of issues when it comes to insurance. And the worst thing that you can do is to be underprepared and not be able to afford the insurance that's going to protect you in Colorado, and then potentially face a hailstorm or a weather storm through your area, and then have to be driving around with a dimpled car forever, and also have a leaking roof that's just going to lead to more mold and issues along the way. So make sure you understand that insurance is a necessity here because of the weather, and that it's also going to cost a lot because, again, the cost of living in Colorado is high. To piggyback on the cost of living, the third reason why people are moving out of Colorado is the housing prices. There's so many people that I have talked to, and honestly, I'm so passionate about this channel, and I'm so passionate about making these videos because I think it's the best thing that somebody can do for you, to just give you a wake-up call of, look, it's expensive here and it costs a lot to move here, and it's worth it. It's worth it. I'm happy to pay every dollar I pay. But if you're not prepared, you lose money very quickly just to go back home or go to a state that's less expensive. And so housing prices are so high in Colorado, even for modest homes. And there's so many people that I talk to that are leaving Colorado, that were born and raised in Colorado, whose families were born and raised in Colorado. And the reason they're moving out is because they cannot afford a home in the state they were born in, because they are just not making enough money to survive with the increase in costs here. And so I need you to understand that the housing prices are significantly higher here. And that's one of the main things that you should sit with before you decide to come to Colorado. Because if you're not prepared for the cost of living, if you're not prepared for the insurance costs, and you're not prepared for the housing prices, well, that's like the triple threat right there. And it's going to take you down. It's going to bleed your savings dry. And it's going to leave you with an experience that was not a good one, when it can be a good experience to a different state if that's what all of this information tells you. So make sure you understand cost is everything, affordability is everything in this day and age, and you want to make sure that you can afford Colorado if you decide to move here. And if you're moving here and you're renting a house first, but your goal is to eventually buy, that should be a realistic conversation that you have with somebody. So reach out, please reach out. Let's have that conversation, because if you move here and you're renting a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment for $1,500 in a really affordable place, and you want to move to King Carroll and Littleton and you want to buy $1 million house, I think it's worth it for us to have a realistic conversation of how are you going to get there? Because if you don't have a game plan, there's a high likelihood that you come here, you rent for a long time, and you realize, just like a lot of people that have been born and raised here, that you're never going to be able to buy a house making what you're making, and you need to move somewhere else if you want to fulfill that dream. So please sit with the cost of living, and if you have questions, reach out. I'm happy to go through this with you. More reasons why people are fleeing Colorado is going to be the traffic and crowding. So even though we are seeing a loss of people moving to Colorado, there's still a lot of people that are moving here, and there's still a lot of people that live here. And so traffic is getting worse and worse, and as they build more and more homes, the crowding is getting worse and worse. So if you're somebody that doesn't like traffic, if you're somebody that doesn't like crowding, that's a very important conversation for you to have, for you to definitely pick up the phone and call me so that we can have that conversation, because there's going to be areas that don't have the potential of extreme development and also don't have the potential of extreme infrastructure development. And so the 1-lane roads that are one way, or the 2-lane roads that are highways in certain areas, that's as big as they're going to get. They're not going to get bigger. There's certain spaces that have a ton of open space that have designated BLM land. And so if traffic and crowding is important to you, it's important for us to have conversations on where are going to be those happy places for you to land that are not going to see as much extreme growth as places like Aurora, Colorado, or Commerce City, Colorado, or Greeley, Colorado. Those places are growing rapidly, and because there's a lot of space and it's relatively flat, it's really easy to build a lot of houses, a lot of roads, and for there to be a lot of overcrowding and a lot of congestion on the roads and the highways. Whereas places like Evergreen, places like Golden, places that are further in the mountains. I would even say that places in certain parts of Castle Rock and Larkspur, you're not going to see extreme growth. And so you're also not going to see extreme crowding or traffic in those areas either. So if you have questions about that, reach out, but just make sure that you understand Colorado is still growing. There's a lot of people here. There's 6 million people here, and you're going to run into traffic and you're going to run into crowding, especially when you get into those main cities. People are also moving Colorado, and I'm going to just be straight up with you. People are moving out of Colorado because of political differences. And people are moving to Colorado because of political differences. And when we see so many people that are moving to Texas and so many people that are moving to Florida and Arizona that are very clearly red states, and then you see so many people that are moving from Arizona, Texas, and Florida to places like Colorado and California and Oregon, the reason for this is truly that population exchange. We're seeing an exchange of people because of the political differences. And so I'm not here to do your research for you, especially because I don't know how you feel. I don't know what your values are. I don't know what you care about. I know what I care about. And so I'm not going to do a deep dive into that. I also don't want to make this channel negative in any way at all. And so I just want you to know that Colorado is a blue state. It is comprised of a lot of blue counties within the center of the state, and then there's a lot of red counties that surround that. And so when we're talking about Denver, Boulder, those places are going to be very, very blue. And then you have places like Fort Collins, which is kind of purple. And then Colorado Springs, Pueblo, that southern area is going to be more red. And then eastern Colorado is going to be more red. And then on the other side of the western slopes is going to be red as well. So there's a place for everybody in Colorado, but with all of the shakeup that we're having in the country, I know that there's been laws passed in different states that are causing people to set their eyes on Colorado. And I know that there are certain people within Colorado that those same laws have caused them to set their eyes on red states. And so, again, I don't want to make this politically charged or heated. I just want to be realistic and shoot you straight. If politics matter to you at all, just do your research. Make sure you know what you're getting yourself into, because a lot of people don't do that step and find themselves in a pickle depending on where they move. And so I don't believe that we should be closed-minded and that we shouldn't surround ourselves with anybody that thinks differently than us. But I do believe that there is strength in community, and that you just have a better life when you're around people that think like you and that you can get along with. So life is about living a good life. So make sure that if politics are important to you, you're researching and you're understanding what the values are of the majority of the people in the area that you're moving to. It's really, really important. Another reason why people are moving out of Colorado is going to be the dry climate. So when you move here, you're definitely going to need a chapstick in your pocket at all times and lotion for your dry hands. And if you are somebody that is just sick of that and sick of maybe having more dry hair and dry skin, then Colorado might just not be the best place for you. But if you're somebody that's looking to escape quite a bit of humidity, Colorado is a really happy place to be because we've got a dry climate. My hair is what my hair is. It's not super poofy, or at least not poofier than it should be. It's not frizzier than it should be. So yeah, if you're not somebody that's a fan of a dry climate, that's another reason why you're fleeing Colorado. Those are just some points. There's definitely going to be more reasons why people are moving to and from Colorado, but these are just the main reasons that I hear from the clients that I'm working with and the people that I talk to. And the question that you should be asking yourself is not, should I move to Colorado? It's, is Colorado going to work for me? And am I going to be happy here long term? If you're wanting to move to Colorado because you love the nature and you love the outdoor recreation and the lifestyle, and you're looking for a better life, and you're okay with paying for it, and you understand that it's going to cost more for you to live here, Colorado is going to be a great place for you to call home. But if you're somebody that is wanting to move to a very affordable, not expensive place to live with no traffic and no growth, and you don't have a job secured and you don't have any savings, then I recommend that you don't move to Colorado. I recommend that you sit down and you write down all the things that matter to you, and you find a state that matches all of those that is not as expensive as Colorado. There's no reason for you to try and make a move here and to bleed yourself dry and lose all of your money and just have a bad experience. And so make sure that you sit with all of these things and you really decide, am I somebody that is going to move to Colorado and thrive, or am I somebody that's going to move to Colorado and survive for a couple years just to be pushed out of the state? And I don't want you to be pushed out of the state. I do want you to achieve this dream if it's a dream that you have, and I want it to be one that leads to a better future for you. So All of that to say, Colorado is still a great place to live if you understand what you're getting yourself into. And if you're thinking about moving to Colorado in 2026, I would love to help you. My name's Taylor Ratliff. I'm a relocation realtor here, and I help tons of people every single week that are relocating to the state just like you. So make sure that you reach out. I'll put all of my information right here on the screen. And then I also have a relocation guide in the description below. There's a home search for several different areas, and there's some different resources for you as well. So if you're not ready to reach out just yet, make sure that you go through the resources, and I'm here for you when you're ready.